So this morning, the president of the American Psychological Association called me because apparently she had seen the video I made, stage 4 ego inflammation disorder. And she said, Anna, you are onto something. And would you please spread this message far and wide? We're going to include ego inflammation disorder in the 6th edition of the DSM for mental health, which is coming out in 2015. And as a show of good faith, she even gave me the ICD-9 number 333. So we can believe this. So I said, of course, sure, I'll make an instructional video. Why wouldn't I help the world? So generally speaking, ego inflammation disorder is delusional thinking. It's delusional thinking, and it's characterized by identifying with a separate self that's a constellation of roles, social status, achievements, assets, and thinking. So in other words, a person who is highly identified with those things, roles, accomplishments, assets, achievements, prestige, like as a separate identity from the rest of the world, they are on the path of possible ego inflammation. But I know that's really broad, and that's what I said to the president of the APA. So I'm nailing down some criteria to make the diagnosis. First things first, if you notice that you or a loved one has a preoccupation with what other people think of them, then that's a red flag. Now, we're not talking about the garden variety. I wonder what, no, we're talking about plagued by concern. What do they really mean? They did that. What was that about? Could be ego inflammation disorder. Raging self-doubt. So when you're just thinking that you've really messed everything up, who did you think you were? Craving to convince other people to think like you think and act in ways that you know, and truth be told, so does the rest of the world know, would be much better. So if you can't even resist trying to get somebody to do X, Y, or Z, and these other things are in place, pretty much a guarantee that you have ego inflammation disorder. Now, I don't want you to get nervous, okay? Because I have ego inflammation disorder, and as recently as a few days ago, I was an acute case. I had stage 4, but there's lots of treatments available, and this is why I'm making this instructional video. Disclosure, first things first, get rid of the stigma and just say it out loud. My ego is inflamed. You say that like I said it 3 days ago, and anything can happen. A call from the president of the APA. How about this? Now I'm making videos in my kitchen with cardboard. It could happen to you. Mindfulness practice. Now, that's like a fancy word, but all we're talking about here is any practice that helps you hear the thinking in your head. In other words, rather than just going along, you actually hear yourself thinking. It gives you a chance to decide, do I like what I think? Finally, service. Now, I don't want you to be intimidated here because here I am basically demonstrating the most powerful service anyone could give, a brilliant instructional video. You have your own small piece of the pie to contribute, and whatever it is, when you serve, when you open up your heart, when you realize that there are a lot of people out there that could benefit, no matter how inflamed your ego is, it's a guarantee. You'll go from at least a 4 to a 2. You might wipe it out completely. Be part of the solution.